Over the past 2 years, the government through Cycle England has been active in a number of demonstration towns to show that better facilities, such as good infrastructure, training and promotion, can encourage people to choose cycling as a healthy, enjoyable and effective means of transport. The demonstration towns have been successful, so successful that the government is keen to see what kind of difference can be made in a big city with a big pot of money. In June of this year, Cycling chose Greater Bristol, which includes the urban areas of South Gloucestershire, as that city. This means that we now have £22 million extra to build on all the work that's been done so far. It's a lot of money, and we intend to make it work for Greater Bristol. But if we're going to make it work, we need your views. We want to know how you would improve cycling in Bristol. What would encourage you, your friends, or even your mum to start cycling? Or what would encourage you to cycle more, i.e. to work rather than just at the weekends?
I don't know, I think we need to be sharing the road more. We need kind of proper designated parts of the road for cyclists.
I'd give cyclists more opportunities to simple things like keep their bikes maintained, offset that against what you might spend on motoring.
I just like it, I enjoy cycling.
I think in the very busy parts of the city, like for instance around Temple Meads where I cycle, crossing the road is very time consuming and very difficult. So I think something has to be done in terms of very dedicated bridges or something like that to help cycles sort of flow through those busiest parts of the city.
Have a few more cycle lanes perhaps around the areas like this where there's lots of bars, because bikes tend to get mixed up with other people and tend to almost get run over sometimes when you're walking along.
I don't think we're a city that kind of welcomes cycling, like, places abroad do much more.
Yeah.
We'd use perhaps bikes more like recreation, so going along the cycle track or going up to Ashton Court.
How long is it since you have cycled?
About 10 years.
What would make you give it a go now?
To keep fit.
My friend turned up to work the other day and I was on a night shift and she came on in the morning and she was just drenched from head to toe. She cycled in a uniform and it was gone see-through and it was just, we just all felt so sorry for her. She just looked a mess and she's like, well, I'm not cycling in again.
I think nowadays I'm more of a walker person.
Yes.
I like cycling, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely comfortable with how safe it is. I've had a bike stolen in town and literally I'd gone to the shop for a few minutes.
I know a lot of schools opt into doing a cycling proficiency, which is really, really good. And certainly I think children should actually be out and about more on roads, just learning about how to be safe on the road, because it's okay learning to cycle around a playground, but when you're actually out and about, it's a completely different scenario.
I have a bike, but I don't really cycle it a lot.
We are especially keen to hear from those of you who don't currently cycle. The targets set for us by Cycle England are to double the number of people cycling in the Greater Bristol area by the end of the project, which is spring 2010. Unless we can clearly understand the barriers of fear that prevent you from cycling, we are not going to be able to remove them. We want to hear about all of your concerns and ideas, both big and small. I am convinced that working together we can create a cycling city. This is a positive example to the rest of the country. Thank you for listening, and an even bigger thank you for your views.